What's cracking, everybody? Zerfelros here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle Day content. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the team that I've been actually running in the 3200 elo range that is providing some very quick battles despite the long queue times. So we got Defense Deoxys in the lead with Rock Slide, and we've got Crocodile and Shadow Tyranitar in the back. Now, one thing I would like to notice about Crocodile is I actually changed it to Outrage after recording these battles, just so that I can hit the Mandibuzz for something. But essentially, yeah, this is like you're going to finish your battles for Go Battle Day, which is tomorrow. On Sunday, tomorrow as of recording this, Sunday, November 6th, and remember from 11 to 2, Miltank is going to be the featured reward, so you'll be able to get a bunch of XLs, a bunch of chances at rolling for a good XL Miltank, or just a Miltank in general if you don't have one. So let's jump right into the battles here, and essentially this is Defense Deoxys Double Dark with an ABB sort of format to it. My first opponent here is running a Charm Shadow Leopard, I don't know how you say it, and they swap into Gothitelle, so they're running triple charm here, and so I kind of realized my darks have nowhere to go, but essentially this is just fast moves the team plus Deoxys, so I just wanted to have something on the lead here that basically has play against Mandibuzz and also against the Charmers, because obviously the darks don't like the Charmers, and I also wanted to have some play against like Pawniard and things, so Deoxys just kind of seemed to fit the bill perfectly. And I mean, honestly, once I hit Legend, I was trying to tank with this team. Legit. I just wanted fast games so that I could tank, and I keep climbing and it doesn't stop. So I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to roll with this team. Now, if you want to play legitimate, like actual try to climb version of this team, I think the team is still very strong because everybody's running Dark Poisons. So what I would run is I would stick Sableye in here, and I'm thinking I would probably put it over the Crocodile. Tyranitar does really well against the Dark Poisons already. I think you could honestly take either one depending on what you're seeing in the meta at the time, and just, you know, pick your favorite one. But here's Triple Charm deleted by Double Dark. What do you know about that, right? So let's move into the next one. Normally I only do 2 sets worth of battles. I was about to fit like 2.5 sets in here in the normal amount of time it would take me to do all these battles, so that's just how fast these games go, and it's so great. And this person's staying with Leopard, so Deoxys clearly core breaks them, and the counter damage plus the psychic typing, having the Rock Slide, it really helps to be able to get a lot of coverage against things. And my opponent comes with Galarian Rapidash, so now I have to figure something out. Now, the nice thing is that Galarian Rapidash is super squishy, so once this person throws their energy at me, and I'm gonna let this go because they're emptying out their energy. It's a body slam. It's not gonna KO, and it's not. So I'm gonna be able to hit him with a Psycho Boost. I saw it. And the fast move from Tyranitar and Crocodile is actually a lot bigger. And in comes a Toxicroak, and look at that. You see Toxicroak completely deletes my Tyranitar, dude. That's it. It's gone. That's the problem with safe swapping the Tyranitar, which is what I do on this team. If they have a counter user, it just gets deleted, and then Deoxys has to play catch up against the counter user and try to take it out. So the Crocodile can try and take care of whatever's in the back, and you just pray at that point that they don't have another counter user. But now I can put a shield down here, and I'm going to be able to mud slap this. There's not really much for me to like commentate about strategy. Like all of you can tell by looking at this team, there's not really strategy, right? I built this team because everybody was running Poison Dark, and I was getting really tired of it. So I just ran 2 things that demolished poison types, and this is just kind of what happened. And honestly, it's been working really well. And I normally would put this video out on like Monday or Tuesday of the following week, but because it's Go Battle Day on Sunday, again November 6th, and I wanted to try and get this out before that, just so that you guys could get a good team to run. Again, and like if you don't have the Crocodile, like it's hard to get. I would honestly just throw Sableye in here, use that as your safe swap, and then play the Tyranitar. Or you could even play like Shadow Sharpedo if you want like all fast moves, right? But the Sableye is like something I've been thinking about because there's a lot of people running like counter users in the back. You know, safe swapping Medicham would be a good punish for them. But that's just a kind of a preference thing. Like maybe after Go Battle Day or even during it, if you want to try and climb with that version of the team, I think Sableye is a really good sub-in for one of the darks. So I would probably do Crocodile because Crocodile, like, it's really good against the poisons, but like I said, Mandibuzz, it really struggles, and I mean, who doesn't want to hit Mandibuzz, because everybody's running Mandibuzz. So when it comes to Mandibuzz, I catch it in the lead and I stay in with Deoxys, and I'm hoping that I can get something going later on. Like that. Like they're swapping a Drapion and I got a shield and I can just fast move it down with the Crocodile. It's Halloween Cup all over again, folks. I'm bringing Crocodile, and after Stop Alcatraz, shout outs to him, by the way, put those battles into the channel, I immediately built a Crocodile, and I actually climbed a bunch with that thing in the Great League Halloween Cup, but it was too late for me to make a video on it, so that's why y'all didn't see it. But he's making his debut on the channel right now, and look at this. I'm gonna mud slap down a Mandibuzz because I can. Look. And truth be told, I did cut out some of the battles. Like there were some where I just got so RPS'd that it's like I'm not even. It's like normally I'd be like, okay, here's a loss in here, and it's fine. But like it wasn't even worth. It's like double counter, and I'm like, dude, this isn't even. I can't even help you guys understand the team. You know, double counter deletes my team. That's really it. So. They're gonna come up with Mandibuzz, and I'm like, I throw the Rock Slide. Maybe it was a mistake, I don't know. But Tyranitar is gonna come in and like farm all the way down. I am farming up some extra energy because I kind of realized I wish I hadn't thrown the Rock Slide in the first place. But it doesn't matter because Tyranitar is just gonna throw rocks at the Mandibuzz and drop it out of the sky. So yeah, this is delete things with fast moves the team. So, oh, this is great. All right, so it's fine. I can definitely tank this. I don't need to shield this whatsoever. I am going to go ahead and let this go, and then the opponent is going to come back in probably with the with the Toxicroak. So I'm just going to throw a blind crunch here. Even if it was a resisted crunch from something else like an Umbreon, like it still does a reasonable amount of damage. Like just delete it. And then I try to throw the Psycho Boost that my opponent catches on a Skuntank. And you know what I got in the back waiting for him? I got the Crocodile, and it doesn't matter, dude. Here comes Crocodile about to delete the Skuntank. My opponent isn't going to need to use any shields because they're going to be gone before the shield even gets used. Oh, two mud slaps, sloppy, right? Two mud slaps is going to take out the Toxicroak, and that's going to be a good game. So those first sets were some that I did the night before. Here's a 7-3 run that I did, minus maybe a couple of battles that were just not worth showing. So Charm, Gallade, and honestly any like fighting type or Charmer, you have to stay in with Deoxys and just try and get rid of them, and just hope that they're not running triple Charm. But like, I come with what if like they're leading a Charmer, like this is an ABB team, so I have to swap at some point to try and draw out the hardest counter to the Dark type. But I feel like Charmer probably was the hardest counter, and they've got a Wobbuffet, and yeah, I don't really see a way out of this. My Deoxys is like not healthy enough to deal with a full Wobbuffet with Charm, even a half Wobbuffet. This thing is degenerate, by the way. I don't have the Wobbuffet built. I have one in my storage, and I didn't build it because I don't have the Stardust for this, even though I'm going to go grinding for Dratini's and Teddy Ursa's this month and hopefully get a ton of dust. I'm not using it on a Wobbuffet, first of all. Let's be clear. And it's really funny story time because it's Wobbuffet and it's going to take forever. My students and Discord members, shout outs to the Patreon Discord, by the way, link in the description if you want to try and join that community. It's an excellent place and I love all the people in it. And these guys saw the video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get deleted. I just quit. Yep, there it is. Done. There's one that was worth showing because it was like, oh, here's a Wobbuffet, and then I get deleted. I told everybody in the video all about this cup, not to run the Wobbuffet because it's degenerate, and they're all like, hey, you want to shoutcast some Wobbuffet? You want to coach some Wobbuffet? I'm like, no. But I'm going to do it anyway if you send it to me. So if they did, it'll be on the channel next week. It'll have a really cool thumbnail. You should check it out. Pawniard usually is really, really good for this team. So this time I actually figure out what I'm doing and I don't swap. I don't throw the Rock Slide and then swap. Deoxys and Crocodile both are the main answers to a Pawniard on this team. So especially Deoxys, like that, those counters hit so hard. And this Mandibuzz is just going to get deleted. I'm going to throw Crunch on the CMP. I don't want them to get a chance to throw another charge move at me because I would like to be able to put some pressure on this Pawniard if it comes back. I'm going to say they come with a Sableye. And excuse me, but that Sableye, it's going to take a lot of damage before it can do anything about this Tyranitar. So, so they are going to farm me down, which is actually kind of dangerous here. And I have to be very careful about this because, yeah. So I'm going to shield the potential return. I know for a fact they're baiting, but they're not. And I shielded the return. I could have sworn they were going to bait because I've got 2 shields, so I wouldn't want to bait there. And I think at that point, I'm going to shield again, because if they're not going to bait the first time, they're probably not going to bait the second time. So I'm just going to put the shield up and mess with this. Because I've got 2 super good answers to Pawniard in the back, so I'm going to let that go. And then I'm just going to come in and snipe it with the Deoxys and take it out. That's good. So, like, 9 times out of 10, when you see Pawniard lead, there's going to be Mandibuzz in the back. And there's going to be probably Galarian Rapidash or something else. Most of the time it's Galarian Rapidash. So just try and keep your Deoxys good for the Pawniard, or if you have to use the Deoxys for whatever swaps in, you can make sure you save the Crocodile for it and try to win switch, because if Crocodile gets lined up against Mandibuzz, it's over. You got nothing. You can't do anything about that. Even if you're running Outrage, it only does like 40% to a Mandibuzz. It doesn't do much. So, so coming in with Tyranitar here against this Umbreon, because once again, I just like the double super effective counters. Like Tyranitar is not even getting to a charge move against the Medicham, so I would much rather just come in with that. Now, my opponent does get to a move before I can here, before I can CMP them, so I will let I'll shield this up and try to farm down. But they come in with the Medicham, and they snipe me out of existence. The one counter did like 20% of Tyranitar's HP. So, so I'm going to throw some Rock Slides here to chip away at this Medicham. It's Deoxys' job to get rid of the Medicham as easily as we can. And I'm hoping that with one shield, they're not so apt to shield, so that I'll be able to land a Psycho Boost, take them out. And I'm hoping that at that point, my Crocodile is going to have free reign to take out whatever's in the back. Maybe they'll swap and give it up and let me see what's in the back, so I can make an informed decision before I have to let Deoxys get down to like 2 HP with these Ice Punches. But they shield this Rock Slide, which frees me up for the Psycho Boost. My opponent may be thinking I was going to just throw some Psycho Boosts there, but instead I'm going to go for it now. And they come in with... Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we came here to see. Skuntanks getting farmed down. I don't need to shield this. I don't think they got up to a Flamethrower, but I could do it just to be safe, because what I can do here now is I can just farm this thing down and then win CMP against the Medicham if it has a move with Crunch and just take it out. That's it. And my opponent, I'm pretty sure, conceded right here. Oh no, they didn't. They're waiting to switch in. They got a Umbreon with like no health. All right, so here's the deal. Umbreon is gonna go away real quickly here, and even though the Last Resort hurts, the Medicham hurts more. So I didn't need to shield that, but they just let it go at that point. They realized that I could just throw the Crunch and be done with it. So, very well. All right. So next game, we got Gothitelle on the lead. So once again, it's Charmer on the lead. You have to stay in. You can, if you want to. You could, like, safe swap in the Tyranitar or the Crocodile in, like, halfway through if you want. I don't mind it, but the Charms do hurt, and they're probably not worth it. Usually it's like, if it's not triple charm, which you probably will lose to anyway. Let's be very clear. This team is not meta breaking to a degree that it can beat everything. It is definitely RPSable, this is an RPS cup, so we all know this. If the opponent's running triple charm, or they're running double counter, or they're running basically anything that these 2 dark types can't just fast move abuse, you're in a bad spot. So my opponent shields twice with the Gothitelle, and I'm going to farm up extra energy, and they come in with Muck, and here comes Crocodile to save the day. Now, my opponent, I don't know what they threw here, but I don't need to shield the first move because it's all resisted, and they go for Acid Spray. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. If you're going to go Acid Spray, it's fine with me. I'm just going to fast move them down, and then I'm going to throw the Crunch at the Gothitelle. So I didn't know if they were going to come in with another Dark Poison, which is why I threw Earthquake, because I just wanted to be sure, because I was going to throw the move blind. And had they come in with the Mandibuzz, I would have been absolutely screwed. So I think what they did here was they came in to absorb the energy with the Gothitelle, thinking that it didn't have any value, and now guess what? There's Tyranitar, and you know what doesn't really do that well against Tyranitar? Air slash Mandibuzz. So, We're here for entertainment. You guys can watch as much of this as you want. It's just going to be the same thing over and over again. But you know what? That's fine with me. All right, here's the 4-1 that capped off my set. I also have done, I did another couple of sets earlier or after these today as well. Climbed up to just about 3,200 ELO with this team. So while obviously I know that my ELO is going to be different than yours, if you're in like the 23, 25, 2700 range, I feel like the meta is condensed enough that maybe this team is still relevant even in lower elo ranges, so give it a shot. You never know. If you see a lot of people trying to abuse Dark Poison, this is a great team for it, because it poo-poos all over them. It's great. So again, with the Mandibuzz lead, I stay in and I play it out a bit. Now, one thing that I've started to kind of do here sometimes is I'll throw one counter afterwards and they get really low, and then I'll come in with Tyranitar and throw a rock at it. Now, Tyranitar is going to come in here anyway. That would just be a way to keep my Deoxys alive in case they don't like it. Maybe there's a fighting type in the back, and this is a total gamble, right? So they've got Drapion, so which means I have to try and tank an Aqua Tail, because this is clearly an Aqua Tail. I didn't even go to Crunch, so Aqua Tail is going to come in, and that does so much damage, dude. It's going to get a button. I got to get the button. There it is. Okay. Huh?
Oh, Casper, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, Casper's opening doors around here. So my opponent, their best answer to Tyranitar was Drapion. So I'm assuming they're running double Dark Poison at this point, because they would have come in with something else if they had a better answer for it. So Crocodile's going to come in, and look at that. It's a Hisuian Quillfish. And do you know how much damage an Aqua Tail does? I don't know. I'm not about to find out. I know how much it does, and I'm pretty... So we've got a Pawniard in the lead, and we love this. Pawniard gets just completely demolished by counters, so Rapidash is going to come in, and I have to stay in here because I can't let this be seen by my other two Darks. So what's going to happen here is this Rapidash is just going to have to eat some Rock Slides, maybe a Psycho Boost, and once this thing's low enough, I can fast move it down with either of Krook or Tyranitar, and I'm going to have to make this work, but I can't really use up my Crocodile right now because I would like to try and save it for the Pawniard, and I got to figure out a way to do this, right? So Rock Slide is going to get the shield. The opponent has put down one shield. I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost here because that's going to be probably close to enough to taking them out if it doesn't take them out completely. And then that frees up my Darks for... this, yes. I swap out immediately trying to fast move down, and then it's a Mega Horn, and it hurts so bad. Oh, the pain. But I didn't want to give up my last shield, and I was hoping maybe it was just a body slam, but no, they went straight for the throat. They took me out immediately with the Mega Horn, and they got a Mandibuzz, and I'm like, I'm done, I'm quit. So what's really nice here is that I try to play this out. I was like, you know what, maybe I can make it happen. Maybe the crunches, maybe Deoxys, maybe something can make it happen. And
just be gentle with it.
Okay, is it okay?
Yeah.
All right. My for anyone wondering what the uh-oh was, my wedding / promise / all of the wonderful things that I love my wife about. Ring fell apart in the middle of my finger just now, and I had to ask her to fix it. So, but gladly she's good with her hands. She figured it out, and she fixed it. And I knew exactly what I know what I said. I know what I said. She's good. She fixed it with her hands. She's good with her hands, right?
I was drinking soda, you ass.
What are you swearing for? Demonetized. It's all right. I think we're far enough into the video now that I don't think they're gonna.
It's a natural part of the body. It's nothing wrong.
Oh no, the rear end is totally part of it. All right, I'm gonna get the transition this time because I'm not upset. All right, cool. Keck McGee. I love that name. I don't normally shout out people's names, but Keck McGee, I'm a big fan of the Keck meme, and I just love it. So Tyranitar is gonna come straight into this Umbreon because I've just found out that playing that out is just not great. So I'm just going to try and play this out. They take neutral from the crunches, so they have to shield. So I know that I'm probably going to lose this matchup, and I'm just going to go ahead and just throw crunch if I can get a shield, maybe. And look, the Galarian Rapidash is already dead. And I'm going to call a bait here. I think that this might be a body slam. And it normally is. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to finish fast moving down. And I'm actually going to throw up a shield here because I know I can win switch from my opponent now. And that's ideal for me because that way I don't have to have Deoxys against Umbreon. And because it's an Umbreon, I am able to get off another crunch here, just barely with no HP, but they know not to shield it. They're smart. But they got a defense drop. So I'm going to come in with my Crocodile now, and I don't care what moves they've got. I'm not worried about it. Just got me triggered there. So I'm going to continue to fast move down, and I will shield this one because this threatens to KO. So I have to shield this up, and it's a last resort, so it's still a good shield. And I'm just going to have to see what they've got in the back. I'm kind of hoping that maybe whatever it is, it's kind of weak to... it's kind of weak to Deoxys, and it's a Victini. So it was in my best interest to stay in there because I did try to make a snipe with my Deoxys to get the Umbreon and take it out, but my opponent read me like a book. And unfortunately, I don't think that my opponent is going to let this fly. So they're in complete control here because I'm not going to get to a Rock Slide before they get to 2 V-Creates and take me out. And problem with this being here is that I also throw a Psycho Boost, which was really not... I mean, I have to get their shield, right? And it's going to get the shield, and they're going to get to the move now. But the problem now is that they're going to be able to load up to 2, and they're going to be able to fire off 2 back-to-back V-Creates before my Crocodile can come in and mud slap it down. So, well played by my opponent. I think that if I had stayed in there rather than swapping out like that, I think I may have been able to turn this around. But honestly, it was just... because I have to use the crunch on Victini, or I have to use it, or I have to throw fast move and get V created. So I didn't really have a choice, and last resort was just enough to KO. Good game. That was one of the longer ones. Obviously, you've seen not a whole lot of those. Now, unfortunately, not pictured in this video, which I wish I was recording for. I had an opponent right after this set. It was right after this one. Running Attack Deoxys. I would like you all to understand this. Attack Deoxys is so squishy. 2 smackdowns from Tyranitar, delete it. Just that's it, just 2. Completely deleted. Nothing, just deleted. Like, gone. It's just... and then they top left it afterward. And I wish I had recorded it because it would have been a really funny end of this video. But anyway, we're here for quick battles, and that certainly calls it. So my opponent does come up with Pawniard here, and I go for crunch because I'm like, maybe there's a slight chance I get to 2. But they do shield the crunch, which is nice, but I'm definitely not getting a 2 here. So I'm going to come back in with my Deoxys immediately to start getting the counter damage in, because I think our switch timers are definitely not up yet. And this is going to allow me to tank a Night Slash. I mean, I don't need to. It does a lot of damage, and then they come with Sableye. And guess what, my dear opponent? Crocodile's Dark type, which means it's going to resist all your moves unless you throw the return. So you have to bait me twice, and I know they're baiting. Like, this is the game where I know they're baiting, and I shield anyway because I can't take the chance. But, like, Crocodile's really squishy, so it really doesn't matter. So they're going to be able to shield up this crunch. Now all I have to do is basically farm them down and then throw an Earthquake if I have it. Or I could just throw a crunch at this point, or I could just save the shield if I wanted to for Deoxys. But at this point, I can just crunch it and punch it down, and that's it. Good game. I don't feel right telling my opponents afterwards, good game, well played. And it looks like I forgot to edit out the queue time, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure that this queue time was pretty short. But while we're waiting for the queue time, let's talk about it, right? So let me know in the comments how your Willpower Cup's going. The Super RPS Cup. I found a way to make it fun, but you know, honestly, it sucks. It's a meme cup, and anything that you've put into this cup hopefully was worthwhile investments. Things like Umbreon and your Mandibuzz, maybe a Pawniard XL would be probably like, you know, there's definitely things that you could invest in that are good in this cup, but a lot of the things are just memes, and it's really not worthwhile investments. So, so this battle here was against Leandro, and if you know Leandro, he's an excellent battler, wonderful PvP player, and I think he even coaches on Metafy. I know he applied for it. I think he coaches on Metafy too. So, but awesome dude. Definitely, I think he's also usually a judge at the regional tournament. So shout outs to him for just being a really awesome, engaged member of this community. And he gave me a run for my money here. But well, we'll see how it goes, right? So Deoxys is going to be forced to stay in here to deal with this Rapidash, and I don't really have a choice here. I kind of have to do it, and thankfully they let it go. We're both 1-to-1 shields. I've got a Psycho Boost debuff on me, so I'm going to let this Pawniard farm me down here, because I want to get the alignment with my Crocodile, because I'm fully expecting there to be a Mandibuzz, and there's the Mandibuzz, and that is exactly why I did not swap after getting the debuff on Deoxys. I figure these counters are still going to do enough damage, and I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to save my shield just in case a situation arises in which I need to farm down with Crocodile. So I'm going to go for the crunch here against this Mandibuzz because it would threaten to KO, and if he wants to keep it alive, he has to shield it, but instead, he goes ahead and he lets it go. Pawniard is going to have to do all the work, and I'm just barely able to get to the crunch to force the shield, and I don't think that Crocodile has a move, but if it does, no, it doesn't. But because of the defense debuff, that one Mud Slap is going to come through and take out the Pawniard. That is going to be a good game, clinching a 4-1 and ascending to 3150 or so elo, and then yet again after this I had another 4-1. I'm like 3180 something now. So well played to my opponents. Very, very fun, kind of degenerate team, but at least I'm not running Charm, right? At least there's some thought put into this, because it's legitimately a team that was made to beat the double Dark Poison or even triple Dark Poison teams. So it's better than Charm. That's all I can say. Especially better than Wobbuffet Charm. So if y'all like this video, please consider hitting the like button, as you would if you'd like to like the video. And go ahead and throw a comment down there. Let me know how your Willpower Cup's going, how you're looking forward, you know, for the rest of the season, how you're looking forward to maybe next season already. And hit subscribe if you haven't already, just to, you know, if you like the content, doing this stuff regularly, and it would mean a lot if you subscribe. And then check out coaching on Metafy, link in the description, and the Patreon community Discord, where all of my early teams, tips, tricks, etc. for Go Battle League PvP and everything else in general, honestly, with this game goes, and you can find that in the description as well. And that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great Go Battle Day, and let me know if this team does well for you, because it's so much fun. All right, thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.